Actually, if you do that on a regular basis, you'll find the people that you can work with really, really well, and you can actually collaborate with well. And that's, again, people and development teams, not just individuals. So yeah, I should have skipped the slide a little bit earlier. So I've got a couple of challenges, I guess, which is for individual developers to form teams, share work, and improve their collaboration skills. And actually, be interesting to see if anybody does do this and if they have any feedback on how they've got on. I have, the success story myself, of which is my current position, where I started off as an individual developer, and now I work with not just a team, but I also involve other web development teams to come in and work on projects, which has been very, very successful. Teams as well, it's, I think if you are an agency, if you're a large organisation and you've got a big development outfit, I challenge you to work with another team and actually put your own project management techniques to the test, because you may think that you know absolutely everything about how your organisation works and what's the best way to do things for your group of people, but there's nothing to say that you're not going to learn a lot of very interesting, very new things from other groups and teams of people. So this is just a couple of bits on collaboration. So if you are going to be looking to collaborate with someone, there's a few admirable skill sets which that person will need from you, and that is that you need to have good task management, good timekeeping, you need to be good at resolving conflicts, and this isn't just from a version control point of view, this is from any internal conflicts of interest, any internal conflicts to do with actual programming. And you have to have good communication, and you do have to be reliable. In the same way that you have to be reliable for your own client, you have to be reliable when somebody else is depending on you. So this is a section which I kind of want to involve you guys in and hopefully get a bit of feedback from you guys and maybe make some notes and hopefully post some more information up. So I'm going to talk about a few collaboration tools that I've experienced, a few that I've been involved in projects working with other teams. Not always ones that I've kept using because they might not necessarily fit in with the way that I work, but they may fit in the way with your work. And I want to find out if any of you guys have worked with any of these tools. So, has anybody worked with Pivotal Tracker? Do you fancy saying a few of your experiences on Pivotal Tracker?
Pivotal Tracker is absolutely brilliant. Yeah. What else can I say?
That's all I need.
We used to use Basecamp. Now we're completely sold on Pivotal Tracker.
Is it because you fit in more with the agile mode of project management, or is it because Basecamp just didn't fulfill some of the features for you?
Basecamp is kind of clunky compared to Pivotal Tracker. It's just a great tool. It's bizarrely, currently it's free, but even if it was kind of, we'd probably pay £50 a month for more, £100 a month for free. It's so good, and can't say any more.
So I'm just going to go on a limb that you'll actually recommend that to other developers?
Yeah, I think so.
Brilliant. So if anybody's interested, check out Pivotal Tracker. We've had at least one endorsement here, so hopefully the next time we do this kind of thing, we might have a few more endorsements. Has anybody used Zoho projects at all? You have? We've got one over there. What have you used Zoho projects for? Was it actually software development, or was it more to do with actual organisation and project management? Organisation. Yeah. Any benefits you can list for anybody else who's thinking about using it?
It's free.
That's a pretty good one. I'm just going to write that down. Free. No, thank you very much for that. The other one is
Google Apps as well.
Sorry, say that again.
It fits in with Google Apps as well. It's got lots of plugins.
So application sharing, document sharing.
Yeah.
Great. Has anybody here used Tom's Planner? No one at all? Okay, Tom's Planner is just a scheduling tool, so it's just about actual personal management and also sharing your schedule with other people, so that's a good one. Has anybody used Basecamp? Anybody want to give some experiences on Basecamp, any positives and any negatives? Go for it, Ben. Yeah, okay.
They can just pick it up really quickly and set us tasks or share files with us, no problems at all. Like, it's so well known that it's like the standard for project management tools.
So it's the one that you encounter the most, which means that the likelihood is if you learn Basecamp and you get pretty proficient with it,
Yeah.
when you encounter other development teams, you're likely to be able to work with them.
Exactly, and it's really easy to use. Like, I don't work for them, obviously, but
Do you work for them?
yeah,
though?
would recommend them definitely. Yeah, we tried a load of open source ones because we were a little bit tight when we started up, and we wanted to save a bit of cash. We tried loads of open source ones, installed them on our server, and basically we couldn't get anyone to use it, the free ones, because they weren't that easy to use. And that was the one single thing that kind of made us buy into Basecamp. So it was so easy to use, people didn't mind using it, and it actually saved time in the long run. So I'm a big fan of open source, but sometimes for certain things it's worth just doshing out for something that works.
I think a lot of the open source alternatives to Basecamp have actually been based on Basecamp, but they're based on someone's experience who may have looked at Basecamp, say, at 1 year, spent a year developing. By then, Basecamp, because of the actual community of developers they have behind it, has progressed so far, and there are so many people that create modules for integrating with Basecamp, from your invoicing system, from your time management system. And Basecamp is a very, very versatile tool. I would say, be as bold to say, out of the 4 of these here, having not had experience with Pivotal Tracker, but I've heard from recommendation that it's a very, very good tool, that Basecamp, as an all-rounder and as a general project management tool, is one of the best ones. So that's it for project management. Has anybody got any other suggestions for project management tools? Go for it. Mm-hmm. Is it in beta at all at the moment, or is it? If you've got any links or anything, do you mind sort of sharing them on Twitter or something later on? That'd be great. And in turn, I'll try and share it to as many people as possible. That'd be great. Brilliant. Anybody else? Will?
I think personal management, you can't beat a piece of paper.
Piece of paper.
A piece of paper. Seriously, just write down a list.
Does anybody else work with that company?
We used a tool at my old company called Active Collab, which was...
Active Collab is based on Basecamp, isn't it? But it's an open source alternative.
But I think it's like a one-off payment that you make, and then...
I think Active Collab have actually gone into... they've actually stopped the open source version now, haven't they? But
yeah, that's a shame, because it was more cost effective than Basecamp when we went into it, and it was actually okay. I mean, so it's just a tool we used. We switched every now and again. We went to Zendesk at one point, which is more of a support tool, but just using that in Google Docs was kind of quite good as well. So
how was Active Collab now? I don't know if you still work with it now, but how is it?
No, I haven't used it recently. So
how was it the last time you used it in terms of integrating with other systems?
Not so great there.
Not so great.
But yeah, it was still quite good as a tool. So just generally, if another one to look at.
Anybody else before I move on? No, brilliant. So the next. Sorry, got one down the front. I'm trusting Frankie to see, because I can't see anything because of the lights.
There's one I've used a little bit called Speckle. I don't know if anybody's heard of that.
Is that Speckle?
Speckle, yeah. It's at speckleapp.com. It's really simple. It's got some interesting sort of ways of doing things that I think sort of are really nice. And I mean, when I say simple, I mean it's truly simple. You literally have sort of project lists and items, and that's it. But it's the interface and the kind of just the way it works and the way it allows you to sort of set up collaborations. It's just really, it's really well put together with the interface and the sort of ease of use. It's a great one to check out if you're just looking for something sort of simple to sort of collaborate on sort of small to medium-sized projects, really.
Brilliant. Keep on going.
Yeah, there's two I've got this from one. There's one called Huddle, which is quite a basic one. But,
Huddle.
Huddle's quite well known.
Yeah.
One of the good things about Huddle is it's got things called whiteboards as well, so you can actually go in and actually sort of sort of draw and flesh out ideas on whiteboards that you can share with different, sort of members of the team. That's also got tasks and projects as well, files which can be obviously approved as well. Mm-hmm. And there's another one, I don't know how you pronounce it, it's like Wuala or something like that. It's
how'd you spell that?
Wuala.
Okay.
And there's actually a downloadable application you can get, for Windows and Mac as well. And that's much the same thing. It's sort of projects, tasks, files. Doesn't have the workspaces or the whiteboards features. These all support multiple workspaces as well and multiple team spaces.
Huddle's actually quite a good one as well, in the same league as Basecamp, because it's quite widely used and a lot of people have experience of using it, and you will encounter it on projects quite often. So, anyone else? Yeah, go through.
Right. There's a free version of Active Collab called Project Beer. It's a free PHP version, although I don't use it. I personally was using Redmine, which is a Ruby on Rails kind of very agile-based project management, and that's free, and there's tons of plugins for it. But at the moment, we use Jira mixed in with Zendesk for support, so we separate out support tickets that flow through into Jira after they're assessed, so separating out the support from the actual work.
Okay.
Jira gives you time management, and Greenhopper on top gives you the agile project management. And you can get 10-person licenses for all of their software for, I think, 30 quid each. So you can get the Jira, Greenhopper, Confluence, and set up a full suite.
And they all interface with each other?
Yeah.
Great. Anybody else on project management? Yeah.
I don't know how any other university does it, but the University of Plymouth, at least in our first year on computing, they recommended us to use PebblePad in a professional organization tool. If you ever get recommended it, it's frickin' awful. Just avoid it like the plague. It's confusing, it's rubbish, and it's rubbish. That's it, basically.
It's actually quite good to have some feedback on something that's rubbish, so thanks. Anybody else on project management? Yeah, go for it. This is actually pretty good because...
Get really, really slim doing these things. Don't eat either.
Sorry, I walked in halfway through that, so you may have said this one already, but rule.fm, did anybody say that?
Don't
no,
think so.
That's another, it's got a lot of functionality in that, so it does a lot from time management through to the projects and to-dos and all the rest of it, so that's very good. It was only launched a few months ago. And the other one is Posit, if anybody knows ThoughtBot. Posit's a nice little, very, very simple project management type thing again, so it's agile as well. Okay.
Cool. Anyone else? Cool. The next one I was going to actually talk about, which a lot of the project management suites actually do interface in, and I will try and get through this a bit quicker because I know we're trying to move on, is actual time management and productivity, which is quite an important part of collaborating, actually being able to record everything accurately. And also ones that you can share and work with and quite easily interface with other teams is quite good. So personally at Fuel we use Paymo and we've trialled out Toggle, and I actually use Rescue Time. Paymo is just a straightforward time tracker, start-stop, and you can actually manage projects with it as well. Not as advanced as something like Basecamp. It has APIs to interface to pull time into Basecamp, which is quite an admirable feature when you are working on projects with Basecamp. Benefits of Paymo are that you can actually have client details and actually invoice people directly from it, so you can just get that whole time through to invoice. So essentially, as an individual developer, you can almost run your entire operation on it, and it's free for up to 2 users. So does anybody here use Paymo or has used Paymo? Not many people, but I would encourage you to give it a try, and the same for Toggle. They both operate in a fairly similar mind. Rescue Time is actually a productivity tool. Has anybody used Rescue Time here? And any sort of feedback on how you found it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.